Right, hi. Okay, we're up to video 16, if I'm not mistaken. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, this is rather funny. I think it's funny. It's because my head's rather shiny, with having a bald head, and I don't know. To me, there's not a lot I can do about it in terms of the lighting in my room and stuff. I mean, it's getting rather dark outside, and I need the light on, otherwise you won't be able to see me, or at least not very clearly. And as I say, my head being shaven as it is, and because I put moisturiser on there as well. Anyway, blah 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 blah. But the thing is that my head, and in fact, look, see, the thing is, take my hat off, and look, I've got a really big shiny head, and it kind of like whites out a little bit, and it looks like I've got a big. I don't know. I know it's probably a silly what's name, but to me, I don't really want to see my bald shiny head. Not that I'm ashamed of my bald shiny head. I'm not. It's just that it just doesn't look quite well on the camera somehow. Maybe some vanity there. Whatever. Anyway, I like my hat. Anyway, I think it looks quite cool actually. I like my hat. I think it's quite dapper. In fact, it reminds me. This hat. I like this hat because it reminds me of Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett's got a very similar sort of looking hat, and I like his hat, so yeah, I'm going to wear it. Oh god, this is a bit of a silly video. Whatever. Anyway, so video 16. Sorry, video 16. So this is a continuation. I've completely distracted myself now. Oh god, I'm giving myself the giggles. Great. As I say, video 16, and this is the next bit is going to be. I'm going to still be talking a bit about the hospital, the old hospital site, and then we cross the road, and I'll take you to the place where I actually used to sleep. After I kind of got discharged from that hospital, and cut a very long story short, I could no longer access the hospital for whatever reasons. Blah 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 blah. So anyway, and it's not just about that. I mean, the fact is just the way my life was at the time. So I was sleeping down the side where the old railway was. As I say in the video, it's now a tramway, but it used to be an old railway cutting. And I used to sleep underneath on the side of one of the cuttings, and that's one place where I used to sleep. And one day, I went to sleep there one night, woke up in the morning with an inch of snow on me, and I'm not joking. There was an inch of snow on top of me because it had snowed during the night, and I had no idea until I woke up in the morning. How the heck I survived that, I'll never know, but I did. Well, obviously. Anyway, yeah, so like I say, that's where I slept. So this is what video 16 is about, basically. So yeah, if you want to watch that and see what you make of it. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers, catch you later.
Okay, so now here, down this bit of a road that's now blocked off. If I remember rightly, I think that would have been where the nurses' accommodations used to be. And as we walk along this road here, you'll notice, like I said, there's all these houses have been built on here, because at one time, and again where there's another little side road here I've just noticed. This is where the psychiatric unit was. This is where the psychiatric hospital was originally, and this was the hospital I was in from. Let's say what about 1985, I guess, maybe 85 all the way through to 90, I don't know, 96, maybe 97, possibly. So actually, let me just have a little look through there. Look, see, obviously there's nothing really you can see apart from all the houses, but through there, well, it's a bit difficult to see, I know. Hang on, that's as far as I can go. Oh well, never mind. It doesn't let you zoom much on this when you're in video mode. Anyway, So, like I say, down there's a little, obviously there's a road here and access, obviously to allow people to access their properties these days, but this, I'm sure, I'm not 100% because it's a bit hard to remember things now, but essentially, as I say, we might walk down this way afterwards actually, instead of walking back that way. I think I might walk down there and bring myself around, because there's another little point of interest that I might want to catch whilst I'm there. But anyway, I'm now going to take you to the place where I used to sleep after I got discharged, or thrown out of the hospital several times actually. Rather than, well, discharged and thrown out, basically. So, let's cross the road. And as I say, you've got to remember that all of that was a psychiatric hospital at one point. It was quite big, it was quite large, but obviously they've sold it off and they've built on it now. But anyway, like I say, you know, we're coming up to what is called Princess Parkway. I think it's still called Princess Parkway. I'm sure that's what it's called at that point. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling a bit here. So there's a church, a Catholic church coming up here shortly, called St. Bernadette's Church, and it has a big massive cross on the back of the building, big white cross with Jesus on it, and I used to see that every morning when I used to wake up from where I was kipping. Of course, as I say, now that they've put the thing there, the tram system, well, to be quite honest, I don't think I'm going to be able to actually show you the place where I actually slept, because it was underneath, well, it wasn't quite underneath the bridge, but it was at the back here on the old viaduct, and that little side road, I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if I pointed that way just then actually, but there's a little side road we just passed that was one way I used to go in there. This is another way down this little passage here. Now I'll tell you what, we'll walk down there because this is how I used to access the place, but as I say, now that it's all been turned into, you know, they're using it now, because it was all defunct. It was an old railway that was defunct, no tracks there, it was just all swampy and overgrown and all the rest of it. But as I say, I used to come down here, down this little back alley thing, and you'll see this, there's a house at the end here, and they've got like a, well, they did have, again I don't even know if it's still there, but they used to have a concrete sort of walkway, which is what I used to sleep under, and this is where one day, and you see it's all blocked off now, gated off and that. See, in fact, we wouldn't have gone through this, we would have gone through the fence directly in front of me, because back then there would have been a hole, because obviously it was all just disused, and obviously now that it's being used, obviously there's no way you can get in there. You might be able to see the tracks, possibly. There's the tracks, there's St. Bernadette's. I don't know if you can see the cross from here actually, you'll be able to see it better from the road when we get up there, but at one time it was all disused, and I would walk along this little embankment bit here, and I'd go up there, and like I say, there was at the end of this house up here with the white window frames, they had a concrete walkway leading off a side door at the side of the building. I don't know if that still exists, it may not, but I used to sleep underneath that, and like I say, I was there for a while. You know, I can't remember exactly how long, but I'd be there off and on. Wouldn't always stay there, like I say, I moved around a lot, so I used to use different places as my little bases for a little while. You know, I'd be in one place for a little while, and then I'd get fed up, tired or whatever, you know, just wanted to change of scenery, I guess, and so because of that, I'd move somewhere else that I'd established myself. One of the places like behind the church, for instance, which is only just a 10-minute walk from here, or thereabouts, because we're still in, well, I think we're still in Withington. I think this still is Withington, I think. I'm sure it is. But anyway, so, like I say, you know, Withington's just up the road there where the church was, and this is another place where I used to sleep. And then sometimes I'd go to town, you know, the city of Manchester, the town centre as we call it town. You know, I'd stay in town for a while, and then I'd come back again, and it'd all rotate like that for months and years on end. Right, now, coming up to Princess Parkway, as I say, it's a main dual carriageway, has been for years, as long as I remember. In the distance, you might not be able to see it from here, but that's Southern Cemetery, and that's where both of my parents are now buried. I lost my mum last year, so I was here last year for the funeral and what have you. So my mum's buried just over there. I don't know if I'm going to visit the grave or not. I mean, seems like I'm here, I guess I could. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so now we're coming up the main road. As I say, this is Princess Parkway. Now, this you couldn't really get through to where I was sleeping from this side. It was just it's basically impossible. It's not. But if you cross the road from where the now tram station is, tram stop, you could access it through that way, and then just walk underneath the bridge. So, like I say, we're now coming up to the bridge itself, and as I say, from this point, the only way you couldn't access where I was sleeping from this side, it was just too dodgy. You could try, might end up breaking your flipping neck or something, or breaking something, but you could easily access it that way, because back then, obviously, as I say, there was no tram lines, there was no fencing, it was just all derelict, and you just walked underneath the bridge. Now, you see, look, this was one possible access point, and it was basically down there, just under past those trees. As I say, it's probably all changed now, and as you can see, the trees have grown up considerably since I was living down there, and that goes the same for the cross. At one time you can actually see this cross. Now, I don't know, see, you can't really see it. Now, see, the tree again has grown up since. No, you're not going to be able to see it. Anyway, there's a big white cross on the wall there that I used to wake up to seeing every morning. That was St Bernadette's Church. And down that way, going back towards Manchester Town Centre, you go through Moss Side, Hume, but before you get to that, you get to where my nana used to live. That's my mum's mum. She used to live just down there on one of those in that housing estate just down in the distance there. Right, okay, so as I say, sadly I can't really get into the place to actually show you. See, I mean, I could try sticking the camera over the wall. I won't be able to see. You will, but I certainly won't be able to see from there. So I'll check that later actually myself and see if I can see it. You might have seen the concrete pathway, you might have just seen a load of trees, I have no idea. I was just sticking that over the top of the wall to see if I could see it. I mean, well, to see if the camera could see it, because I certainly couldn't from where I am. It's too high, that wall. So anyway, what I might do is I'm going to cross over here anyway, because if we're going to go to Mum, go and see Mum's grave. Do you know, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to remember where it is, to be perfectly honest with you. As you can imagine, I wasn't really in the best, in the greatest of states of mind, to be quite honest. So, sorry, I'm just running across this road. I'm basically taking my life in my hands here. Well, that's alright, I've got across now. Right, so as you can see, this has been turned into a tram stop. So we've got trams all over Manchester now. It's like they're growing. The trams are just getting everywhere now. It's ironic, isn't it, that years ago the trams stopped. I think they probably stopped before I was born, to be honest. So probably in the, I don't know, late 50s, early 60s maybe, I don't know. But, you know, years later, all of a sudden they decide, oh, trams are a great idea, let's bring them back. And now they're going all over. You can get to all sorts of places around the north, well, not completely round the north, but you know, now here, look, basically, as I say, this was all derelict when I was here, and of course, I didn't sleep under the bridge itself. I don't know, it's just a bit too open and didn't feel that safe. But like I say, you'd walk underneath there, and then round the side of the bridge on the embankment part is where I used to sleep. And in fact, actually, I don't know, mind you, I might not be able to see it from here either. I'm going to say, if we've got on the other side, we might be able to see it, but I don't think we can, and probably not a good idea to go walking down the track either, because somebody will probably tell me off, and I don't particularly want to watch them. I want to get home soon, so I'm not going to go traipsing. Other circumstances I might have just attempted to walk down there and show you, but never mind, we won't do that now. Okay, so right, God, it goes for miles and all, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so where does it actually get to anyway? Where do we go to here? Well, this is Withington, like I said. You see? Where does it go to then? Let's have a look. Where are we then? Can't even find it. Can't even find it on here. Oh well, anyway. God, I'm sweating. Anyway, as I say, it's all changed a hell of a lot. God, I'm really getting hot now. Actually, I'm starting to sweat a lot. Well, I'm not going back up the steps because it's too much like hard work. So, oh dear, right, let's head up this way. We'll head up to the cemetery. Right, I'll leave it there for a minute.